It's Shelly Rose May Art by the Métis Mama, and this morning I am going to start out in ceremony for this video for the very first time. I don't think I've ever done this before. Excuse me. We don't often film our ceremonies, but smudge ceremony is one of those ceremonies that is, it's okay to share more openly with, because it's pretty much a universal thing. A lot of different cultures do it. So I'm just using this pastor sage. This is the traditional sage that Cree people use. And I have two different smudge bowls. You'll often see people use these little mini cast iron skillets as a smudge bowl, and I definitely use it. You'll often also see people using abalone shells, and sometimes people will use this white sage, and it's so beautiful. But I prefer the pastor sage. It's more traditional. And what I do is, once I pull it off the stem, is I just roll it into a little ball. Put it in my smudge bowl. Isn't this the cutest smudge bowl ever? Oops. So I sell smudging kits as well. So I don't include the price of the smudge bowl, the sage, and the matches in my pricing. Those are essentially free. What you're paying for in my smudge kits are the art, because they include artwork. So I can show you those in a minute, but let's light this baby up. And I just use my hand to get it going. If it starts to go out, that's pretty good. And then it's going to give it another wave. And then I just like to wash my hands. And I know you can't see this, but I always cleanse my eyes. I capture the smoke and I cleanse my eyes, my ears, my nose and mouth at the same time, my throat chakra, over my head. A couple times I do that. And then all the way down to my feet, if you can reach them. If you're wearing moccasins, you can take them off and smudge those. I smudge all the different major chakra centers. The root, the sacral, heart, all that. And as I'm smudging, I'm keeping good thoughts and intention and asking Creator to guide my thoughts for the day. And I always end in the heart chakra. And take a deep breath in and out. And I just sit with that for a minute and like I said, invite the Holy Spirit, the Great Spirit, Jesus, Yeshua, Creator, whatever you want to call that higher force, it all means the same thing, into my mind to direct my thoughts for the day. And any time I have a thought of a negative thought in any capacity, I just ask Spirit to come into my mind again, and I could smudge again if I wanted to. I have a few spirit doll structures ready to go, and I'm just going to smudge these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I always do four rotations in a circle going clockwise. Our ceremonies are always circular. And I'm just going to set that aside now, but I thought that would be cool to start our day. And if you're watching this video, you can also feel the energy and smudge on your end as well, because in spirit, there's no bounds. So I've started working on this little doll here. So let's finish her up. I already got a face, so let's zoom in a little bit. And hopefully the lighting's okay. Zoom in a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. This is my second cup of coffee this morning. It's been a very, very busy week. Just lots of appointments and counseling appointments and back to school clothes shopping, and put a little paint down on the tray here. Yeah, just a bunch of different things, and then I'm still kind of getting over a bit of a cold. It's the cough that lasts forever with me, and it's because of my asthma that I'm trying to heal from it by taking Mullen. Okay. I don't like this brush. I need to get some new brushes. I need a different brush. That one's not going to do it. Gonna have to hit the store today, maybe. I gotta go grocery shopping today. So that's the last thing I have to do yet. But man, having teenagers is not cheap. I went clothes shopping for my teen yesterday. I'm just gonna color this all in black, and then I'll go over with some colored paint after. I like Zoomies, and it's a store in the Bauer Place Mall in Red Deer. And everything in there, like the cheapest pants they have is like $75. And it's like skater gear. So it's a little pricey. Who knew skater clothes were so pricey? But yeah, on nearly $500 later, we left the store, and thank God I picked up some work with my art this week. Otherwise, there's no way I could have afford the clothes that are in that store. So I often like to keep eyes closed on my dolls, but once in a while, I like their eyes to be open. So if you have them open, then it's going to be a little bit more work. So I like using a raw sienna for the skin tone, and I usually mix that with white paint. Oop, a little bit too much on there. That's okay. Almost out of that. And I'm just going to mix this up just a little bit. Yeah, so I'm super grateful for Muskanawa. I've done 2 teachings with them in this last month, and because of that, I was able to afford school clothes for my boys. If I didn't pick up that work, there's no way I would have been able to afford school clothes, because groceries in Rocky Mountain House are insane. We went to Red Deer, like I said, and we stopped at this liquidation center that's right downtown in the old casino. And they don't have a lot of food, but they have some, and the prices were so good I had to buy a few things. So I spent about almost $90 in, like, I bought nuts, I bought some mac and cheese. I bought some seeds as well, like raw sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, stuff like that. And then I bought a couple like snacky type things for my 8-year-old's lunches. Yeah, so I was like a kid in a candy store in there, because if I were like, what I spent in that store totaled around 89 something, almost $90. If I would have got this exact same haul at our local grocery store, I would have been spending twice what I spent in there. So I saved some money, which was great. So I'm just like, any places where you would naturally find a little bit of shade on the face is where I'm putting the darker paint, as you can see. And then lighter paint, of course, will go more in the lighter areas. Let's see. Oh, I like to blend out using my finger too sometimes, because it just sometimes it just works better. I was gonna come on and work on junk journals, but it's like, I'm always working on junk journals. Like, let's do something different. And I haven't done dolls for a while, so I thought, let's do a bundle wrap spirit doll, because I just got all this amazing fabric from my friend Teresa. So why not use some of her beautiful fabric that she gifted me on a new bundle wrap spirit doll. Yeah, so it's been a crazy summer of just stayed home a lot like we normally do, because I just can't afford to do much. We did get out a few different places around Rocky. We went to Ram Falls, which is out in the back country, and we saw the wild horses. Took us about an hour to drive there. It's absolutely beautiful, but a little scary because we didn't bring any supplies with us, and if we were to have broken down out there, we would have been not in a good position, because it's, yeah, gravel road and then backcountry driving. So yeah, it's gravel road all the way there, not all the way, but most of the way there. And but there is a lot of backcountry campers out there, so there's actually quite a bit of traffic out there, so we wouldn't have been completely SOL, but okay, let's see, let's put a little bit of white here. And a little bit on the other side here. Okay, this is not the perfect brush for doing this, because I need something a little bit more flatter, but my brushes are terrible, so this is just gonna have to do. I'll make it work. So I miss doing videos though, because my 8-year-old has been home all summer. My husband, of course, you know, he wasn't in any programming or anything this summer. I just let him have a lazy summer, which made it hard for me to do videos and stuff, because He has a bit higher needs. He doesn't like me coming downstairs to do my work, which is where my basement studio is. He doesn't feel safe or comfortable being alone upstairs by himself. He's got a lot of fears. So I was often working at the kitchen table when I was working. And I've missed making YouTube videos. It's nice. He woke up early this morning, but he just fell back to sleep. He must have got up way too early. He often does that. He'll wake up really super early and he'll watch YouTube for a bit, and then he gets tired after a couple hours and he falls back to sleep. Needless to say, it'll be nice to get him back on a routine again with school starting next week. Okay, I'm just blending out this white a little bit more on both sides. But yeah, he woke me up at 6:30. Mom, the police are here. I'm like, what? So I got up. And my son has been dating a young lady, and she didn't come home last night. So they were out gallivanting around the town last night. Teenagers. So it wasn't a big deal, but it becomes a big deal when you involve the police. I was a little bit annoyed because I was having the best sleep ever, but I needed to get up anyways. But yeah, having teenagers is so fun, is it not? Gosh. Okay. So I need to definitely add some color to her eyes. I'm gonna let that dry, but in the meantime, one of the things that I use for outlining the features is just a black ballpoint pen. And the reason why I use this, excuse me, is because I'm just going to make sure I'm in frame here. Yeah. Excuse me. Is because these are wood. And when I use my micron pens or my artist love pens or whatever pens I'm using, it doesn't glide smoothly or easily over the wood. So if I do one of these first and then go over it with one of those pens, it works so much better. And I like giving like whimsical little features like that. To me, they represent the scars that we each all carry, like different experiences we've had. Kind of messed up there. I'm gonna have to fix that, but and it's more symbolic than actual scars, but you could definitely relate. Some people can definitely relate to it as real scars. And my eyes are never perfect on either side. I just always guesstimate, and I love the whimsical feel and imperfection on the faces, because they say nobody's face is absolutely perfectly symmetrical and perfect, right? And we all have different features on our face. So what I like to do, make those little excuse me, little, you know, one day I'd like my throat chakra to heal. I know what it is, but anyway, I don't want to talk about that, but, I'll wait to color it in. Sometimes I like to color those in, and I am going to color it in, but I am going to wait a little bit because I don't know what kind of fabric I'm going to be laying down, and I want it to kind of match the fabric is my point. Just fixing this nose a little bit. And just giving her lips here just a little bit more. Okay, and now I'll color eyes. Should we do peacock blue? You can't really see that very good. Let's see. Let's do turquoise maybe, or let's see, maybe turquoise. I hope I'm staying in frame. She kind of looks funny, but trust me, she'll come together. And then I like to take a larger end of a brush, dip it in black paint, and then just do that. So you still see a bit of the turquoise. So that needs to dry, and then I'll add little specks of white. I'll add some eyelashes. We could probably do a few little eyelashes right here, super small. Okay, I'm gonna add white in there too. Did I tell you guys I got a job? Finally? I wasn't going to, but with it, like, just, I'm tired of struggling for groceries all the time. And my husband, he's not better from it. Like, he has a brain tumor. He's not 100% better, but he's getting there. So I just finally decided I needed to get a job for my own space, but also like just next year my 16-year-old, he'll be 17 next month. Not next month, October. So next year he'll be 18. And things are changing, and he's growing up, and we here in Canada we get something called child tax benefit. I won't be getting child tax benefit for him anymore, which is really going to impact our household a lot financially. So I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna keep working at my art. I'm never gonna give up on my art, but I need to get a job so that we can sustain ourselves. So I did, and I finally got a job. I finally applied for a job. applied for one job, and the one job I applied for I got. Which is super cool. So there is her, and I just kind of do a really rough sort of thing like this. And you know, like these are wood, right? All wood is connected to grandmother tree, so she is, I'm gonna wait till it completely dries before I finish touching up her eyes. And let's go over her lips. So I will pause this video, blow dry her eyes, and then I can finish her up. Yeah, so I am the new Indigenous support worker at the Mountain Rose Women's Shelter here in town. So it's going to be fun to be out of the house and connecting with other people and supporting women that are going through their own transitions in life. There. Okay, I'm pretty happy with her face. Not too shabby. I could definitely add more color. Like sometimes I add little hints of color, like especially on the cheeks. I'll sometimes give her a bit of rosy cheeks, or I'll make her a little bit more fun by adding different words. Like sometimes I'll write brave, things like that. But this one, I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, let me quickly blow dry this and pause this video for a second. Let's see here. Okay, I'm back. I just blow dried her eyes, and I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of white and just put a little dot in each eye to represent a bit of reflection. There. So there she is. There's the face. Now, let us get on to the next part. So like I said, you can go over the black with one of these pens. And see, it does make it a difference because it does pop. It darkens everything. So there you go. Oops, I forgot to do this part. Okay, I just want to do one more thing, which is just add a little bit more pink right in here. There. So you can really see, I mean, I don't know if you can, but I can really see the difference already with going over with that black pen. It just makes it pop more. Okay, now we'll put these ones aside. I'll do those another time. And we'll just focus on this one. And another thing that you can do is, if you want, is add a symbol or a word here. And I've got a pen here, marker. Now this, you don't have to do this stuff, but you can. And I'm just gonna write here, sacred. And it's just kind of like a little hidden thing for you, right? All right, so the next thing, we'll put her aside for a minute, is, I'll just zoom out now. There we go. So this is like a type of sort of fleece that was a blanket. I like using this because it makes a really great body base for my dolls, because it's lightweight, it's a little bit thicker, and it just makes a really great base for poofing out your doll, making it a little bit more poofy, creating that body. So, and I just like to do strips. I'm really sorry about my throat, you guys. I know it must be annoying listening to me sometimes. Okay. All right, then we get our glue gun. Oops. Forgot to put my glue gun on the glue pad thingy. It's got glue all over my tablecloth now. Okay, so you can start wherever you want. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down at the bottom here and stick my fabric, tack that down, and then I just start wrapping at her. I'll just go round and round, and then I always put a little bit right here so it doesn't shift on me. There I go. And then I go back around, and then I just keep doing this until she is at a place, at a thickness that I like. And just tacking it along the way, a little bit of glue here and there. See how she's coming together in a little bundle. Love it. So she's looking pretty cute. I think I'll just, yeah, that's good. Need a little bit more, so let's see. Grab our fabric here, and I might put some behind her too. Sometimes I will put fabric behind here to fill up the back of the head more, give it a little bit more shape. But we'll see. I don't know if I'll do that. Let's do that. Okay, so I need some more glue sticks. Where are my glue sticks? I mean glue stick. I need a glue stick. Okay, there we go. Okay. That's pretty good. Another tip I have is to not put too much fabric here. Because this is a thin disc, this part can bulk up too much and it just kind of looks awkward. So don't put too much here. You want a little bit, but don't put too much. Now saying that, I recently purchased some new wood slices off of Amazon, and they're much thicker than this one. So when they go on the doll structure, it's probably going to look a lot more natural than these flatter ones. So I'm really excited about these ones because then I won't have to worry as much about bulking this part up. I can put a little bit more fabric around there and it won't matter. But here, if you put too much fabric, it's going to look kind of funny. So it'll be fun to work with those new slices. And I love the grain in these. The ones that I get from, like these ones here, like you can't see the grain. So this is how I get them. They don't sell these anymore at the store that I get these from. I bought the last ones. They're not selling them. They're just continuing those craft supplies at their store. So I could probably order these online somewhere, but now that I found these, I'm going to stick with these ones. Okay. So there, she's all bundled up. So another thing you can do if you wanted to add medicines with inside the doll, like this is a braid of sweetgrass, you could definitely tuck it inside here if you wanted. Just an idea. I've done that before where I've made little bundles of medicine and then I've tucked it inside the doll. So that's just an idea. Okay, let's grab some of this beautiful fabric that my friend Teresa sent me. Okay, we have all different kinds here. What are we gonna do? Look at that fabric, isn't that gorgeous? That would be really pretty. So there's that one. There's this really pretty fabric as well. Love that too. These are really cool, but I kind of want to do a color that plays off of her eyes. Although that does look not too shabby. And I like doing like strips. Like this would be perfect. I'll just show you. I like doing little, like almost like a collage. It doesn't matter if you can see that under fabric because I like the color of it, so it doesn't matter to me. This part is annoying me though. Okay. And if it's a little scrappy, that's okay too. I do like that. So yeah, so just play. I like to just play and see what works, and what kind of guides. What spirit guides me towards. So that's another thing is when you're creating your dolls, just know that when you set the intention to work with the Holy Spirit, that you are. And your dolls, they are going to hold that connection as well. And not to, well, that's kind of nice. Just not to worry too much about that, because you've grounded it in spirit. This is kind of nice. I wouldn't normally pick this kind of fabric, but it kind of matches her eyes, so I might have to go with it. At least part of it. Like, I like that flower part. Let's cut some of this off. Because a question I often get asked in my spirit doll workshops is, are they voodoo dolls? Or people come to my table and be like, are these like voodoo dolls? And honestly, that triggers me sometimes. It's become an annoying, a nuisance question. And it just shows people's lack of understanding. And it's okay to ask questions, though. I'm not saying that. It's just my work can be so misunderstood at times. And I just feel like, man, if you really knew me, you wouldn't even ask that question. But you know, people don't know me, so I get why they ask. It's just one of those things that sometimes trigger me, because I've always had a connection to spirit my whole life. And voodoo dolls are done by voodoo priestesses and priests. Like, I'm not a voodoo priest, so that's the one distinction. And I don't know how they make their dolls. They could be made similar to how I make my dolls. I don't know. But when you're asking questions like that, it's important to understand, like, I don't know, not when you ask questions like that, but when you're looking at other people's creations. This is kind of a cool fabric too. What am I trying to say here? This one kind of goes a little bit. What am I trying to say? Understanding the intention behind what they're creating can help you understand a little bit more about them and the art, kind of art they do. Should I do flowers to go with the flower theme? This green fabric's kind of cool. I can hear somebody walking around upstairs. Probably my 8-year-old. I absolutely love scraps so much. Thank you again, Teresa, if you watch this video, for all these beautiful scraps. Yeah, I think I like that. So I'll throw a little bit of glue down here. And now we just need one more down here. So I like that kind of layering of fabric. Oops. See what else she has in here. I did a video of me unboxing some of this, all of this fabric that she gifted me, my friend Teresa. I might have to go into my stash for a different fabric. Let's see what I have. Here's one. I really like this one. Very pretty. It's got an elephant on it there. It kind of looks cute. Should I just go with it? Or should I just do this one? This one I think kind of goes with it more. I feel like this one's a little bit too bright. Yeah, let's do this one. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. All right. I'll put a little bit of glue there. I'll just lay that down. A little bit of glue right here. Now remember, everything comes from spirit. We're just a channel. Okay. And a lot of people ask me, how do you deal with the bottom part? And there's many things you can do. You can stick things in there to hang if you want to hang some cool threads. One thing I like to do is I just put a little bit of glue, tuck this part in, and then I just put a little bit of glue here too, and then I just fold it. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is find some kind of trims, like here. We'll use this one here to wrap around your doll. You don't have to do this, but I like doing it. I don't know, it just kind of feels like it feels good to do it. I don't know what it is about wrapping, but it just feels really fun and comforting. There's something comforting about wrapping. So I always do a few loops around the bottom, and then just kind of like you're wrapping a bundle of sage after you've just harvested. Like so. Then just put a tiny bit of glue right there. Just to tack that on. And then you can put more. I have this like I do have more of that. Where is it? Here it is. I have this like turquoise sort of yarn, which will pick up on her eyes. I like being a little bit matchy-matchy, so we're gonna use this as well. There, like that. And we'll just maybe tuck it under here and trim that. There we go. So like how she's coming together, like that sort of scrappiness about her. Now, Teresa gave me a bunch of these scraps too, and I thought it might be fun to use them, but now I don't know how I'm going to use them. I thought maybe they could be a cool little almost like a little bit of a head wrap for her head. I was thinking something like that would be fun. But now that I've made her, I kind of feel like I want to give her hair. So let's grab some hair out of my bin here in my suitcase, my vintage suitcase, where I house my hair. And I have this really pretty pink hair, but I think it might be too bright. We'll see. I have this really beautiful black hair. I have this hair here that would be nice as well. Let's see here. Let's go with this one maybe. I feel like if I use this one, it's like too much pink. So then all I do is I have this like book that was in the discard section at the library that I use them for winding my hair for my workshops and for myself. Now, sometimes I do put stuffing on the back to round out the head, like I said earlier. Like I'll use the same fabric that I used on the base of the stole, or I'll use some kind of felt. But if you make your hair thick enough, you can just use hair to cover up the back of the head, which is what we're going to do here. So I'll cut that in half, take out one of the strings, lay it down, so try to put it in the center, and then, oh, this isn't too thick of a hair. Let's see how it works out. You can always pull some of it out, but trim that. Okay, and then This is why I leave a lip here, so I can anchor the hair on. Yeah, like that. That looks good. Okay, so we'll just put a little bit of glue there, and I'm not putting it like right on the lip because I don't want it to seep over onto her face. Come at it from the front, and then I just hold it in place. And then the back side, what I do here is I just put a bunch of glue on the back like that, and then flip the hair back over. And then push it down, and then it holds it in place in the back there. And then in the front part here, what I do is I just put a little bit of glue along the edging, and then I bring this over like that. I don't know if you've seen that, but I'll do it over here too. Like, I don't put it right on the front, I kind of put it more towards the back side, like that, and then I bring it over. That way it doesn't seep onto her face. Sorry if I'm going too fast. I always forget this is a video. I do have a better, slower video on my, maybe I'll just trim that piece, playlist of how to make these dolls. So there you go. Now, if you want, you can make a hood for her. I do that too. I like making little hoods for my dolls. I don't know if I will do it on this one, but let's see. This is like the perfect fabric for a hood. And I would just kind of fold it a little bit like that, and I would glue that down, and then I would just glue it over the top there like that, and put this over top. But do I want a hood is the question. What do I want to do with her hair? Do I want to leave it like this? Or do I want this on? Just want to make sure I'm still recording. Okay. This video, I don't want this video to get too long, and we're already, I think, at an hour, so. Yeah, I don't know if I want to have a hood on this doll. I think what I might do though is pull her hair back a little bit. I could do one of my little squash blossom buns. I like doing those where you just roll it. You roll it. Hello? Is that you, Sage? Something like that. And this side. I think that's my husband. Or Messiah. I can do that, which I kind of like. Super cute. Or I could just leave it down. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I think I do want to do the little squash blossom buns. So what I'm going to do is take, I don't have to do this, but I'm going to take take a little mini elastic. So fun playing with dolls. You know, when I was a kid, I never hardly ever played with dolls. I did have a Barbie and a Hug-a-Bunch, but I wasn't really that into dolls that much. Okay. And then we'll do the other side. So how many do you have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Try to make it a little bit even. Okay. You know, excuse me. You don't have to put her hair in a ponytail like that. Okay, I'm gonna start trying to, roll her bun out. Burnt myself on the glue. Okay. Maybe go this way. It can be a little bit tricky. I don't know how I did them so good before. I think because I'm doing this on a video, I'm a little bit more self-aware as to what I'm doing. So it's probably going to give me a bit of a hard time now. Okay, let's just do that. So put a little bit of glue there. Put some more here. That piece is kind of sticking, so put a little bit of glue there. And then a little bit more back here. There. That's good enough. Then we'll do the other side. Lately, I've been doing a lot of these squash blossom buns on my dolls and artwork. I do believe they have some galactic origins. Okay, put a little bit more glue here. And just tack it into place back there. Okay, cute, I like it. So that's how the back looks. So if you wanted to cover that, you could with flowers or different things, but I want to put something right here because I don't like, I might just use some more yarn. I do this too sometimes where if it's giving me problems, like this area, if it's giving me problems, then I just take some more yarn and I do like a smaller mini hair like that. And then I can just tack it right there, and it can either go like this or over this way. Or some down and some over this way like this, which I might do that. I'm going to tack that little piece down. There. Yeah, I think I might do it like that. Let's see. Put it there and maybe come under like this. Let's just do it. Stop thinking about it and just do it. There we go. Okay. This is becoming a little bit looser, so I'm going to tack that down. All right. Yeah, I'm just not sure. Maybe I do like it like that. I think I'll leave it like that. I just don't know, you guys. I just don't know. And sometimes this happens. Sometimes I'll fiddle around with the hair for a bit before I'm like, dude, I love that. Okay. I think I like it like this the most. Yeah. And I still need to trim these a bit. Okay. So I'm gonna just gather some of this hair that I just put on here, and I'm just gonna tie it in the back with an elastic band again. Hold it in place. I think I'll be happy with that. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. Okay. But what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue there and hold that into place. That way you can see her face better, because it was kind of drooping down a little bit. And I'll just put a little there too. And I'll put some flowers, some small flowers in her hair, but essentially she is done. Her hair anyways. I'll dress her up with flowers and stuff. This video is gonna maybe take a little bit too long, but adding the adornments to her is the last step. And I don't know if I have any small flowers to add in her hair, but let's see. I like using those small little silk flowers, but I don't know if I have any. Could do something like that, but but I don't like the color of that. And I'm pretty sure I don't have any more of those flowers. So I guess, like, I have some of these vines. I could give her a little crown. There's so many different ideas, but you know what? I'll dress her up off camera because I don't want this video to get too long. You kind of get the idea already of what I'm doing here. And you can add embellishments to her. You could give her butterfly wings if you wanted. You could put a feather in her hair, flowers. You could have her holding a key. Like, there's so many different things that you can do. So at the end of this video, I will show you her final, like, the end result of how I end up embellishing her, so that this video doesn't get too long. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Okay, I finished her, you guys. Off camera. It didn't take me too long. All I did is I found these little pearls, a string of like pearls in my stash here. So I kind of wrapped them around each of the blossom buns. I found this really cute little turquoise feather that picks up on her eyes, so I stuck that in their hair. And I added this really pretty butterfly, and I had this button in the stash too, and symbolizing in our culture we believe that your spirit is where your belly button is. So I just put that there as symbolic for that, and the word soul on the butterfly, and a little silk rosette there on the bottom, and there she is. Oh, and I put this bow to hide the elastic. I had that in my stash as well. So that is it. So the last part would be to smudge her and give her a name. I always do that with my bundled dolls. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments.